What comes first, civilization or belief? For centuries, the answer to this question was quite simple. Humans first learned to farm, escaping the uncertainties of hunting to settle the land. They founded villages, built cities, and only after achieving this prosperity and leisure did they find the strength to look to the heavens and build massive temples for their gods. That was the whole story. It made sense. But what if I told you that this story was wrong from its very foundation? What if I told you that the greatest revolution in human history began not with a handful of wheat, but with a belief carved into stone? In the arid plains of southeastern Turkey, an ordinary hill that the locals call Göbekli Tepe hid a secret for 12,000 years. A secret thousands of years older than the pyramids, older than Stonehenge, even older than writing itself. A mystery powerful enough to force us to rewrite the first part of humanity. Our story begins in 1994 with a shepherd named Mahmut Yildiz who was plowing his field. A strange carved stone caught on his plow was delivered to the local museum, but its importance was not quite understood. That is, until the German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt entered the scene. While examining reports at the museum, Schmidt saw the potential in this stone and decided to go to the hill. At that moment, he knew he had found the mystery to which he would dedicate the rest of his life. Just beneath the surface of this hill, which most archaeologists thought was merely a medieval cemetery, lay an unfathomable structure. As Schmidt and his team began to dig, the earth revealed its mysteries one by one. Massive T-shaped pillars carved from limestone, each weighing 10 to 20 tons, standing over 5 meters tall, and these pillars were not blank. Their surfaces were covered with animal figures, carved with sharp lines and an impossible level of artistic skill. Foxes, snakes, wild boars, cranes, scorpions, an entire ecosystem imprisoned in stone. And here is the most mind-boggling part. The people who built these monuments were hunter-gatherers living at the end of the Ice Age. They had not yet discovered metal tools, nor the wheel, nor even pottery. With only simple flint tools, how could they have quarried these massive monoliths from the nearby stone pits? How did they transport them? And how did they erect them with such precision? These were questions that even modern engineering struggles to answer. The importance of Göbekli Tepe was not just its age or its size. It was shattering the most fundamental theory about human history. The accepted view until that day was as follows. With the agricultural revolution, people founded villages, achieved prosperity, and only then built temples for religion and complex rituals. In other words, sustenance first, spirituality later. Göbekli Tepe, however, turned this equation upside down. The builders of this temple were not farmers. They were hunter-gatherers. This proved for the first time in history that a large human community had gathered not for agriculture, but for a common belief and ritual. In the famous words of Klaus Schmidt, "First came the temple, then the city." Religion was not a result of civilization, but perhaps its very ignition switch. The need to build these monuments and gather here may have pushed people to find more efficient food sources, that is, to invent agriculture, and to settle around this sacred site. We can make a comparison to understand the scale of this revolution. Göbekli Tepe is a full 6,000 years older than the famous Stonehenge in England. It is 7,000 years older than the magnificent Giza pyramids of Egypt. While these people were building these temples, the cornerstones of civilization like writing, the wheel, and pottery had not yet been invented anywhere in the world. This was the very starting line of history. Point zero itself. Göbekli Tepe showed us the beginning of history, but it also left behind quite large question marks. The T-shaped pillars are thought to be stylized human figures. But why do they have no faces? What do the animals on them represent? Are they symbols of a clan or guides on a shamanistic journey? And why are there so many predators and venomous animals depicted, while more peaceful animals like deer, which were part of their life, are depicted less? And beyond all these questions lies the biggest mystery. After being used for about 1,000 years, around 8,000 BC, the people who built Göbekli Tepe did something incredible. They didn't abandon it, they didn't destroy it. With their own hands, they meticulously hid it in the depths. They covered all these massive structures with millions of cubic meters of earth, stone, and debris, as if protecting a mystery, as if closing an era. Why? Why would they bury this sacred temple of their ancestors with their own hands? Had their beliefs changed? Were they protecting it from a catastrophe? Or was this the final and greatest part of the ritual? This is the greatest mystery that Göbekli Tepe has not yet revealed to us. Göbekli Tepe is more than just stone and earth. It is a window into the minds of our ancestors, a monumental proof of their effort to understand the universe, their ability for abstract thought. It shows us that at the core of being human lies not just a struggle for survival, but also a search for meaning. Today, only a small fraction of this site has been excavated. Dozens more circular structures and thousands of secrets still lie beneath the soil. Göbekli Tepe humbly reminds us how far we are from knowing, and how many stories fill the silent pages of history waiting to be heard. And it asks, what other mysteries lie beneath the earth, ready to change the story of humanity once more? To learn about mysteries like this regularly, you can subscribe to the Enigma Archives.